Now, the fourth type is Philadelphia, which is also like Phileo, which is a kind of friendship, fondness, but this kind is specific, and it is for the family of God. Is that which God supernaturally enacts in us that makes you to have an affection for God's kind, for God's people. Do you get that? For God's people. So that's the third one now, correct? I've mentioned Phileo, I've mentioned Eros, I've mentioned what? Agape, I've mentioned Philadelphia, it remains one, Storge. So it's 5. Do you get that? That makes you to have affection for God's people. That's Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a brotherly love, but that brotherhood is not general human. It is for God's own family, the family of God. And it's there in the scripture. 1 Peter 1:22 talks about you being born again unto what? The unfeigned love of the brethren. That's Philadelphia. So there are 2 kinds of love that are spiritually battered in us at conversion now. What are the 2 kinds? Agape, but really it's beyond agape. It's a supernatural, you understand, virtuous substance that is deposited in us that makes us to seek the good of others, contrary to our nature before we got born again. Do you get that? So that's the selfless, that's the impersonal, that's the what? Unconditional, virtue-driven love. And the strength of this love depends on your maturity. We'll get there soon. So how mature you are in Christ will shape how well you walk in this love. Are we together? Now the second one is not virtue. It's affection. And that's Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not virtue. But it needs virtue to sustain it. And I will explain what I mean. So the 5th one is Storge. And that is family or familiar love. Love that exists among family members. Or people you grow up together that almost like you have become families. That's Storge. That kind of affection. Now let me lay another foundation here. When we're talking about love, we have to understand something. And I like the way this guy really explained it. Forgotten his name now. If I remember, I'll tell us. So when we're dealing with love, let's look at this. The one who loves, if I say I love you, there is a I and there is a you. The one who loves is the what? Is the subject. I love you. Correct? And the one who is being loved is the what? Is the object. I love you. If it is eros, that means I am sexually attracted to you. When I'm talking about eros. So when this guy in 1 Samuel 13, is it 1 Samuel 13 now or 2 Samuel 13? That should be 2 Samuel 13. The son of David, Amnon, was attracted towards who? Talk to me now. Tamar. When he was sexually, now the Bible did not use sexual. He fell in love with Tamar. That was sexual attraction. That was eros. So there was sexual attraction towards Tamar, his sister. Now that was wrong. And if he has a higher operation in himself, he should have stopped it and said, no, I can't give expression to this nonsense. So if he has this virtue, this unconditional, this thoughtful love, he should have known that this is unreasonable. This is wrong. This is not the good of my sister I'm seeking. I just want to gratify myself. Not just that it will affect this family. Even beyond that, it is sin. I can't do that. Now, you see, if he has somebody who is a good friend, who is in phileo with, but their phileo or friendship is built on substance, that friend will have called him to order. But incidentally, this guy had a friend, truly. But the friend was a reckless guy. Abinadab. No, what's his name now? Is it Jonadab? Talk to me now. Amnon had a friend. Let's look at it. You guys should help the preacher. When I quote something, I should not be at sea. You should be help. Tell me everything. Jonadab. So he had a friend called Jonadab. And the Bible described him as a subtle man. The word subtle was a what? Is a word that talks about what? Is a cunning guy. Very deceptive. And the guy said, what? Is that your problem? You invite him to your house, pretend, and then pounce on her and rape her. And that's exactly what this foolish guy did. So their phileo was not built on virtue. Do you understand? But what I'm bringing out there, so when the guy said, I fell in love with my sister, I'm sexually attracted. Do you understand? Okay, so there is the one who loves, for God so loved the world. So who is God? Is his subject, and the world is the object. Now, all the four loves are object dependent. All. Except agape. Now remember, I said it's beyond agape. Except agape. All the four loves. Storge is object dependent. Object dependent in the sense that I love you because you are my sister. So it depends on something that we share in common. Are we together? I love you because you are my sister. I love you because we are from the same blood. I do, you understand? You are my sister. I love you because you are my friend. And then we have things in common. So, object dependent. Now, when you remove those things that are in the object, the love will crumble. But the highest of them is agape, which is subject dependent. Who is the subject? The one who loves. So it's subject dependent in the sense that this kind of love depends on the virtue of the lover. So for God so loved the world, God is the one who loves. It depends on the capacity of God. So even when you are nice, when we are reckless, that love is not weak. Are we together? So the Bible tells us in Romans 5, when we were his enemies, Christ died for the ungodly. Not when we are his friend, when we are his enemy. Why? Because he is the one who made the choice. It depends on himself, not on you. And that is why agape is the strength of all the loves, all the other love. So, we are in study, you are my brother. There is a kind of familiar love or family love or bond between both of us. So I love you because you are my brother. But you have messed up. This object has messed up. Now, what will make the relationship to remain intact is the strength of the subject. That's why marital union breaks. Because I'm attracted to you at filial level. We are friends and I like you. Erotic, I like your body. It's not wrong. Are you getting that? Then we both now agree we're going to marry. Now you marry. Now those two, filial and storge, they are good. But the truth is that they cannot sustain marriage. What sustain is your own strength, your own volition, your own decision. So when filial and storge becomes weak on the basis of what I can see in the object, the love is intact because the subject has what it takes in himself to sustain relationship. So the Bible says love your wife. Agape. Be sacrificial. Be thoughtful. Demonstrate virtue. Seek a profit. Your wife. Now at that junction, when he says love your wife, he already takes that there will be junction when she will do things, when she will become unlovable to you on the basis of Phileo and Eros. So hear me now. No marriage will sustain or will last when all ours is just Phileo and Eros. If you don't build yourself up in your agape, that marriage will crash. So a lot of celeb, a lot of us marry, I love this man. Why? He has money. Object dependent. He has money. That's why I love him. So there are things he has that makes me to love him. I like his body, but the body can't last. By the time she has 2 kids, you don't know the shape she will bring to you. You don't know what favor will become. Neither do you know what Bolanle will become. Neither do you know what Janet will become. You don't know. Some of us are just like straight body. You don't know whether she'll become a curved body. That's the truth. First pregnancy, second, we don't know. You don't know the man that will see develop pot belly. You don't know. Some people will not. Yes, somebody say exercise is not enough. I agree. The exercise is not enough. But even to do that exercise, you will know he needs help. But you see, if you don't develop your own personal integrity and virtue, you are in for sorrow. Because you have made your life vulnerable. You have made yourself you're vulnerable at the mercy of the object. So if the object doesn't have what I want, then the marriage and hear me, there will be junctions when the object will not have what you desire. There's no way you can do it. And that is why God doesn't change his love towards us, even when we got born again, because the love of God towards us is not you dependent, it's God dependent. So the Bible says, what shall separate us from the love of God? Are we together? Are you getting that foundation? So hear me. I feel you. Friendship is good, but you see, the friends must have agape in themselves. I'm sexually attracted to you. Beautiful, but you must have agape. You are my mother. Yes, stodgy, but you must have strength of love. We have Philadelphia towards you because we are both believers. In fact, I don't know people that fight more than believers. Believer will offend you tire. Two of us. Have we not offended ourselves in this church? There are people that have left this church out of offense. But hear me, you want to hear the announcement? When you get to another church, don't be close to anybody in that church because they will offend you. When you get to any new church, don't be. Don't be. Just be a hermit. Stay on your own. That's the truth. Are we together here? Somebody say, at work, I'm not going to relate. Don't relate because your boss will offend you. The only thing that will keep you going is because you are well paid. And that's why you cannot insult your boss, but not because you are virtuous. Not because Christ has helped you, but because you don't want to lose money. So you are really weak. So a lot of us, what sustains us is gain, not virtue. Christianity is not the gain, the virtue. And that's why ultimately the person who measures our Christian strength is God, not things. Because I might not know the reason why you are still in this marriage. Where will I go? See the house he built. See the man. This is the man everybody wants. Women, do you know what men are doing? Women are doing outside. You want to lose him for food? You better cook good food. You better do this. All those formulas, they are unchristian. I don't cook good food to sustain you, to keep you to me. That's not the reason. I cook good food because that is what is expected of me as a responsible, godly child who is married to a man and honoring Christ in my relationship. Do you get that? We must purge our motives. God is not just after positive and good actions. Christianity is after the reason why actions are meted out. Don't cook good food to trap your husband, to sustain him. What if he doesn't like food? And don't satisfy him sexually, all because you don't want him to go to another woman. Of course, that's a very good reason. But you see, you have a higher reason because It is his right. And in honor of God, I do it. I want to teach you higher reason for doing things as saints. Are we together? Now, our concern is not love, general. Our concern is phileo. So, do you understand that general level? Now, let's go back before we lose track. Let's come back to phileo. All of you are looking at me and continue like I'm not. It's phileo you guys sent me. So, what's phileo? Now, let me say this. Listen to phileo a lot. Listen to this message. So, what's phileo? Phileo is friendship, or the kind of love that sustains friendship. Or it's also a kind of brotherly love, albeit natural. Because there is a supernatural brotherly love. What is that? Philadelphia, that exists among the saints. There is a natural brotherly love. You know, even among believers, you cannot feel it among yourself. There is Philadelphia generally, but two believers can be fond of themselves in phileo. You understand? Two sisters can be in phileo. I'm not talking about gay now. I'm not talking about lesbian. I'm talking about pure attraction. Friendship, phileo, that exists in French, friendship, brotherly love, is characterized by affection, fondness, and sense of camaraderie, sense of friendship. You are fond of your friend. Now, hear me. You people are strangers before. It's because you met at the same place of work. You are both students, colleagues. You live in the same area. Over time, you have grown to be friends. True of us. In fact, all of us were strangers to ourselves before. All of us. There is no two people that are not strangers at once. At one time or the other. But over time, maybe because you are working in the same place, maybe because you live in the same environment, or you attended the same school, or you are doing the same course. Over time, you start getting fond of this guy. There's a friend of mine I want to go and pay visit to. By God's grace, next month. Now, to go and pay him visit, I know at least I will spend more than 100,000 to go and visit him. Because I'm going to fare my car. It's not in Shagam. Isn't it fair? So, you have to think of, return. And I can't go without buying gifts. So I want to go. But how did we meet? We're both lecturers. When I was lecturing in anatomy, we're both lecturers. So I observing, I was looking at, my heart just got drawn to him. And our friendship became deep when he sent me on an assignment. I know the assignment. He was building his house. And he told me, Dr. Odusote, please, it was to go for a conference in Abuja at that time. So I went to go and check the bricklayer. And so before he came, they ran out of cement and some things. I went to buy those things. I went to buy them. And I gave him. And I never collected the money back. That was the beginning of our friendship. I'm going to get there about friendship, giving in friendship. That's the beginning of our friendship. Till today, we are still friends. You understand? So, and there is, you can never escape it in life. If there is any gift God has given to us, it's gift of friends, gift of men, phileo. In fact, the world will be chaotic if everything is on agape, because there will be no personal relationship. All relationship will just be diffuse. See, agape is impersonal. Agape is directed at all men. But life will be out of order if all your heart is for all men. The only one who can do that is God. And even in that, God still have people. He said, can I hide this thing from my friend Abraham? So God had friends. That's phileo. Jesus was his friend when he was here on earth. Are we together? So phileo, fondness. Love for close friends. It has nothing to do with sex. When I'm talking about sex, I'm talking about gender. It has nothing to do with it. You can have a lady friend. But don't see. You must purify and sanctify your mind. That when I say this lady is my friend, don't always think of sex. Love for close friend, family. You can even feel, you cannot feel it even among your siblings. There is storge, but even inside that family, there is somebody you are in phileo with above others. Do you agree with me? Yeah, you see, you can just like this guy, and everybody will know James and Kunle, they love themselves. You just know. When it comes to James, you yourself cannot explain. You will go out, you will go extra mile to get it done for James. There is that, even in siblings. Phileo. And of course, some things account for that. Responses, I will get there soon. Love for close ones, family, or those you are in, like I said, you are in bond with. Relationship, and phileo breeds strong emotional connection. Strong emotional connection. It's a mutual affection. It involves reciprocal and generous love for one another. And that's the thing. You see, all this love I have said is reciprocal. And the more you respond, the stronger the love goes. All the other 4 loves, what are they? Phileo, Eros, Storge, and Philadelphia. They all grow on reciprocity. Where you are not responding to the love, it will wane. It take both. You understand? I'm saying it's mutualism. It must be mutual. There is something I see in you, and there is something you see in me that makes the love. And that's why you cannot just tell me the Bible says husband love your wife and that's all. No. The Bible also said wife love your husband. I had one pastor said the Bible never said women to love their, you only said to submit. No. You also said to love. In fact, the Bible did not only say women should submit, the Bible also say men should submit to the women, to the men. Because he first said it in Ephesians chapter 5, submitting one to another in the fear of God. Before he now narrow it down to husband, wife, submitting to your own husband. In other words, where you have not learned generally how to submit one to another, it will be difficult to learn how even to submit to your wife or to your husband. So learn it. You don't have to relate with any saint, anything they say in the church, anything you're meeting, you will only have your own way. You don't care. You can't marry. You will be fighting. Are we together here? Okay. So I said that this love, phileo, can wane if it is not properly cultivated. Two of us. How many of us had friends when you are in primary school? Are you still friends now? You don't cultivate it. You have forgotten that. What of secondary school? There used to be some, you are so close, but today it's wane. No cultivation. You are not calling the person. You are not fond of the person. The love will wane. If you don't feed it, it will die. Husband and wife, your marital union can die even though because you are not communicating. You are not fond of yourselves. So, phileo needs feeding. You must feed it. Now, let's quickly look at some example. David and Jonathan. How many of us remember David and Jonathan? Let's look at it. 1 Samuel 18. Are you learning anything? Now, remember, the purpose of this teaching is not just for knowledge. It's knowledge that shape you to perform. So we are saying this teaching should help you in your love life. We want to see harvest of friendship. It is not wise to say, I don't have friends. Some people say, I don't have friends. How can you say you don't have friends? You need help. That means you yourself, you are an abnormal person. Because for you to tell us, that means you can't trust anybody. That means you yourself, you are not trustworthy. You have a problem. In fact, most of the time, the things you think you really fear in others actually is a demonstration of your own innate problem. I can't trust anybody. That means nobody can trust you. That's what you have just said. You are not vulnerable. 1 Samuel 18. 1 Samuel and chapter 18. Let's go from verse 1. And it came to pass when he had made an end of the speaking unto Saul, that the soul, see, he gave a speech. He spoke. And the soul of Jonathan drew out for who? For David. So it was object dependent. Do you know you can fall in love with somebody all because he's charismatic? That's why Messi will get women faster than you, because you don't know how to play ball. Somebody who can sing well can easily get women that somebody cannot sing. True of us? Yes. It's object dependent. There are some things we see in that person. Somebody has money, he will get a sister that somebody doesn't have money. See, if somebody is handsome, charismatic, and has money, he will receive more sisters. He will have more sisters receiving from God that he is the one than a brother who doesn't have money, who is not charismatic, who doesn't dress properly. You're on your own. True of us. Say, I don't agree. You will learn by experience. You know that guy said, you will learn. You will learn by experience. But we are not teaching carnality here. We're only telling you that I see something about man. Man, look at what? External. Man, look at external. There are people that have come to this church and say, I'm not staying in an external environment. They want where there is cozy. So as soon as we have money, let's make it more cozy. Let's make cozier. Do you agree with me? At least to help their faith. At least let them sit down and learn Christ. Good. So he says, and it came to pass when he made the end of the speaking to Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. That's Phileo. This is an acute love. This is what was not so. It just came almost supernatural. And do you know something? There can be people you love at first sight. You met this guy and just connect, and that's the beginning of friendship. It happened. But while many is progressive, Phileo is progressive. You see each other daily, you walk, and they begin to gravitate. I like the way he talks. You might not even know, but you're just getting attracted to that person. If somebody you want to go and visit, relationship just start. And God has done this so that there can be pockets of life. So otherwise, life will be boring. Life will be dry. So we're all attracted. You'll be wondering, how can this lady go for this guy? Just leave it. That's where life is. It's the same question with how can somebody come for you too? Are we together? So that's a form of Phileo we saw with David and what? Goliath. Sorry. You know when I was writing it, I wrote David and Goliath and I still said it. David and Jonathan. Then you remember Jesus. Jesus and who? Let me say whether somebody. Yeah, that's it. That's the person I want. Jesus, Mary, and Lazarus, and Martha, that family. Jesus loved them. And that was Phileo. In fact, if you go and check the Greek word, there is Phileo the Bible puts. Jesus was in Phileo with that family. So, it's not wrong. A pastor can be in Phileo with certain. I might not be. See, all of you are members of this church. I'm your pastor, but I might not be in Phileo with you. Or you don't agree? You know, as I'm in my house, I will readily think of that person. I will readily think of sending money to that person than any other person. I will readily. And somebody say, why can a pastor? It's also always like that. Otherwise, his heart will be fractured. He must have that. Now, when it comes to agape, he must have agape to us all. Do you get that? So we saw Jesus having that. Then Jesus, when Jesus resurrected and he told Peter, love me more than this, then feed my lamb, feed my sheep. The question Jesus asked Peter, if you go and read the Greek, is love me, there is agape. You know what Peter answered? Peter answered Phileo 3 times. I Phileo you, I Phileo you, I Phileo you. Peter looked at everything at friendship level. Maybe we can put all our phones in silence. Else. Are we learning? So I said Phileo can be contacted acutely acutely or developed progressively. Do you get that? And let me say this. What is acute can easily to fade out. What comes acutely can also easily fade out. But what comes chronically, over time, is difficult for it to fade out. Even when you part, your heart are still together. But when it is acute, heart to heart has not. You see, through process of time, of fondness, of sharing, your heart shares together. So even if your friend leaves you and goes to another town, there is still that affection. You are looking for him. You missed him. Do you understand what I'm talking about? And that's why, hear me, if those two of you or both of you can easily get into right circle, it's easy to restore that relationship than when it is acute. If something is acute, heart has not really been cemented. So if anything happens and you are fractured, you might just part. But not on one that is progressively formed. Okay, so let's go on. So I said it is mutual or mutualistic in operation. It is object dependent. You know what I'm about object dependent? As long as the object possess what I admire, as long as the object still have. But you see, you should grow beyond that and let it be subject, sustained. So that even when the object or your friend or the person you are in relationship with fumble or come behind in standard, your own agape or strength or virtue will kick in and make provision for his own infirmity. Hello? Do you know what I've just said now? I said, you see, both of you are in relationship, you are friends. But for this period, you didn't know what happened. This guy just fumbled and then he just said some things you don't agree with. And your relationship is being threatened. Rather than allow the whole thing to fracture, you know the object has messed up. Let your own integrity, your virtue, you understand what I'm saying? Your unconditional love, let it kick in. Let it sustain his own infirmity. You understand? Don't speak evil. Don't say anything. Just maintain love until he himself is restored and relationship can continue. This is the basis of good relationship in marriage. So your wife just at one week just decide, I'm not cooking for you. And you don't know what happened. Something happened. You can't figure it out. Rather than fight and break your marriage, kick in. Let your own love, virtue, your own decision, volition comes in and do the cooking. And sustain the infirmities until she recover from her. Do you understand? Can you do that? Hello? Michael, you keep smiling. You are just wondering, but this thing is sweet. I'm going to do it. Now, it's not cook. You see, it's not cook. I've only used that. I have gone beyond cooking. But in any case, let me ask you, what can you not do for love? What can you not do to sustain a relationship? Listen. If there are things you are not, you still think I'm above the, you don't understand what love is. In fact, the Bible said that you must even be ready to wash the feet of the saints. You must be ready. What can you not do for love? You can't cook for the next 1 month if you have to. What is the big deal? You see, the thing is you can actually, is because you don't. There are situations that can befall your family. That's the only option you have. Like what will happen to you? You make all the adjustments. You know, I've seen things where people say, well, we need a housemaid and things like that. I said, it's because you are in Nigeria. If you are in Canada, you won't think of housemaid. If both of you are there, you won't think of housemaid. It's because Anya Yokayo, we're just spoiling ourselves. If you are there, you won't think of housemaid. Because you cannot even afford one. Because there's a minimum money you can pay as government prescribed. So where will you even afford that? All you do is just make adjustment. But here we are just, we are just playing bigger than, larger than life thing. Ooh, what is it? For me, if God can come down and give his life for us, there should be nothing you cannot do for your spouse as the man. In fact, there is nothing you can do that can match what Jesus did. So what have you done? So all this trivia, I can't match. How can I cook? You should not even talk about that one. How can I wash? How can I do? Is it the one that will command me? Is it the one? See, the reason why you are talking that way, it's not because she will command you, it's because you are not ready for everything. Stop talking that way. Just leave things. Stop being defensive. Stop being too much guarded for your ego that need to be broken. Are we together? Okay. Now I put this, I said nobody can go through life alone. There is no self-made man. It's foolishness. All of us live by interdependence, directly or indirectly. All of us. Our interdependence can be on a close level or what? On a distant level. For instance, the road you are taking, are you the one that made the road? You depend on what somebody put there. The car you are riding, are you the one? How you say, it's my money. What if you didn't make the car? Is the money. If somebody did not make the paper, do you know what it has taken man to come with that paper thing that you are using? That's not self-made man. Who taught you physics in the school? Were you the one that taught yourself? The school you attended, do you know the people who put it? By the time you think well, you just say it's a foolish statement to say. Now, if that is true, then you might as well have people at a closer level to you. Like I said, nobody can go through life alone. You need friends. You need people in your life. There is nobody that has been limelight or anywhere that it has not been true people that loves him or her. Friends have been part of your life. Somebody told somebody about your business. Somebody told you about your product. Somebody told them about the service you render. Somebody spoke to somebody. You understand what I'm saying? You're a good teacher. Somebody gave you a positive compliment. Somebody greeted you. It's part of your day. Somebody was there. Somebody laid down his life. Your parents did. At least if you don't know your parents, they didn't abort you. They should have. To even carry you in the womb for 9 months is enough. If that's all what they did, is more than enough. Keep thanking God they didn't crush you. True or false? One hospital took delivery of you. Do you know what it cost the doctor his life to, training and doing all that so that they can take your delivery? So, if that is true, then you can be intentional with friendship. If friendship matters, then you can be intentional. And let me say this. One of the things you must learn in university and institution is friendship. It's not just the course you are doing. It's a friendship. Make friends. Make friends with your lecturer. Make friends with fellow students. Make friends with subordinates. Make friends with all men. Make friends. All men. Potentially, be a friend. Be a friendly person. Potentially. Everybody. You are working in a place. Let the gateman be a man of respect and honor to you. Love your gateman. From gateman to your what? To the cleaners. To the orderlies, if you're a medical doctor. To nurses. Nurses and doctors can have their beef, but it doesn't come to your own table. Don't live like your life with the general thing. Live a different life. You're a Christian. Am I correct? Don't be snobbish with your lecturer. Your lecturer is a human being. There's a way to do it. There's a way to be friendly. One of the ways to be friendly with people above you is respect. Respect. We'll get there soon. Because your friendship cut across 3 levels. The people above you, people at your level, and people below you. You must have friends on all the 3 planes. Are we together? I said friendship is built. Or phileo is cultivated. Friendship is built through interest that you show in the progress of others. Friendship is built. You are interested in other people's progress. And you remember Joseph in the prison. The potty, what? The butler and the baker. They both had a dream, and they didn't know the interpretation of the dream, and they were both in sorrow. The guy saw that and said, why are you guys like this? Why are you moody? And they told him about their dreams. And the guy said, wow, that's it. And then the guy trusted God and he gave them the interpretation. Hear me, if he's not somebody who is naturally having concern for others, he won't even see their mood. You see, you can be so absorbed in yourself that you don't see the mood of others. You don't even know they are ill. The person just greeted you. Your voice sounds so, you can't pick it because you have never picked anything. You are so engrossed in yourself. Don't be so self-consumed that you don't even know what is happening in your environment. It's called emotional intelligence. It's called social intelligence. You mean for all these years you have been attending church, you have never given to anybody. You've never seen anybody that doesn't appear of you in the church. You are not a wise person. With the way God has blessed you, you should have given again and again. You should have seen. They don't have to carry that problem. And do you know something? People who are generous will always see. People who are not, you won't see at all. Because you're absorbing yourself. Am I talking? I said, are we learning? So friendship is built primarily with interest in the progress of others. See, let the basis of your friendship with people be, I seek progress. That's the best way. Don't start friendship so that you can get. Don't start friendship on the basis of I want to get. I'm going to teach you young people some things because I've seen some of you. I said, when we're like you, hey, young people, this generation. Sometimes when I see some of our youth, I just wonder, I was young like you people. I was not like this. I know how to do free things for people above them. I'm going to show you some things. So, it's built on progress of others. And all these will be tested. Because once you are in a relationship, your phileo is built on what? Interest in the progress of others. It will test all this. Your trustworthiness. It will test it. Phileo is a test on how trustworthy you are. How truly loving you are. When I say truly loving, that's your agape now. Phileo will test your agape life. There are some things that happen between you and your friend. It's not enough to strain you. But if you are weak in love, agape, it will strain you. It's not because of what happened. It's because you are weak in love. It's not because of what happened to your union. You are in relationship. See, this your matter is taking too much dimension. Can't you just take insult? Can't you just forbear? Can't you just forgive? Must you repeat everything that was said? He said this. He looked at it. I said, I'm coming for 9. I thought I would meet him. He didn't call me today. He didn't even call me today to say hello. Just because he didn't say hello. Is that why you are moody like this? You really need help. Can't you call yourself and say hello to yourself? He has not called me for 1 week. I don't know how both of you are relating. But if he has not called you for 1 week, you don't even know what is going on in his life. You don't even know. You see, somebody who is in a relationship is so much full of self. Everything is me. By the time you are talking, you will be seeing me at all the offense. It's about me. It will be a test on your honesty. It will be a test on your what? Your generosity. One of the things that help friendship is generosity. Be generous towards your friend. Your friend is doing, there is nothing your friend does you don't give to him. Ha! What kind of... Now, wow. A friend of mine was doing his foundation laying some years back of his house. So he invited us. And I sent my gift. He said, he actually, he took me, he said, Dr. Odusote, do you know you are the only one that gave me gifts? He said, nobody gave me anything. Because for me, you should give him at least. It's not that one I will use to build the house now. But it's just a register. To register, I'm part of this. And you know the Bible says it's more blessed to give. Are you getting that? When I go for occasion, function, burial, naming, anything, I put some money in my pocket. Not to spray, but because I know there will be some people at the gate. There will be some people beggars. Some people will say at least they are going to do function here, and we know some people will come. We will come and meet them to give us something, and they will come truly. And most of us don't give them things, and yet you use that money, you can spray it, and the person you are even spraying might not even know whether you sprayed it. You spray $20,000. You mean you cannot, outside that gate, give $100 to that man? What does he want to do with money? What does he want to do with money? Are you okay? You mean you can't give that man 1,000 naira? That woman you saw outside, and you spread money like that? Can we be thoughtful to other people? Must he become your friend to be able to be generous, doing good to all men? In fact, let your love life be extended to people that might never return it to you. That it's just between you and God. Honesty. It will test your integrity, your capacity, your wholeness, your soundness will be tested on the basis of Phileo. Your integrity, your wholeness. He said this, and see the way you are reacting. Your friend, your daddy said, your mommy said this, he did this, he did that. Let me say this, there is no relationship that will not have some time that will happen. Will you break it? Of course, some things can happen at junction that my main relationship might need to be redefined. But alas, let there be no hatred in your heart towards nobody. Integrity, generosity, your respect. Phileo is a test of respect. If you're a man that doesn't know how to respect others, you can't sustain friendship. If you are disrespectful to those above you, those at your level, and those below you, there's a way to respect those below you. You must be a man of respect. You must know how to respect your friends. Respect boundary, courteous. You are courteous. Don't get to your friend's house and just take his clothes, take his things, use his things anyhow, and then you didn't even tell him. You are destroying relationship. You don't know what the future holds. That person might be in position to recommend you. He has seen your carelessness. That thing register, and it might not be you, might not be the one. Friends has promoted friends. Friends. Your friend is a minister. Has become minister or commissioner for some. See, the memory he has of you as a teacher can change everything about that. Go and look for him. Do you know that guy, the butler, he told the king, he told who? Pharaoh. He said, I remember that guy, Joseph, in the prison. If Joseph had somebody who is always mindful of his own, that's the way we'll have lost. Even though God said prophetically, this is what will happen. But do you know, it took friendship, love, for that prophet to come to pass, all because of Joseph's responsibility. Do you understand? Prophecy can come upon your life. If you don't live out the Christian life in a normal way, you can cancel the prophecy. Is somebody here with me? Praise God. Are you still learning? It's a test on your respect, your understanding. It will test your how understanding you are, how thoughtful you are. The Bible says, also take no heed to all that is spoken, lest you hear that your servant has caused you. So you're always hearing everything. Your servant will, you see, your servant might cause you, but because you are not taking heed to everything, you won't even hear about it. And when you hear, I can't feel it, don't mind that guy, you move on with your life. You know, things affect us because we take heed to them. And there are a lot of things that have been said, you are not affected because you didn't hear. But when you hear, it affects you. So may you not hear all that he said about you. You don't know. May you not hear. If God is to extract all the thought of favor, all our thoughts, since he entered relationship with Dre, the relationship will have been straight. But God is not going to, because God is confidential. The same thing you, the same thing me. There are sometimes that bad thoughts will just come. And if God is to extract all our thought at every time, there will be no relationship, true of us. There will be none. And that's why we must discipline our thought. And that's also tell you that you mean. Yet, the God you are dealing with, there is no negative thought, no ill thought that has ever entered the heart of God. And that's the standard God is taking us to. Is somebody here with me? Then you must learn this. It's a test on your forgiveness. Friendship is a test of your forgiveness. He didn't attend my wedding. He didn't attend my birthday. Some people have record of all offenses. And you want to keep friends? Your friend might have a good reason. He can't afford it. You say everybody's going to, he doesn't have the money. Leave him alone. He doesn't have today, understand and leave him. He will have tomorrow. Don't use that to write him off, all because of that wedding. Phileo doesn't work that way. Oh. Is somebody here with me? Respect everybody. Respect people. And give people space to breathe. When you get to somebody's space, private space, please don't affect the ecosystem. Don't get to somebody's house and affect the ecosystem. Leave it. They can't afford it. Leave them to enjoy what they can afford. Don't mess up their environment. That's the house. Leave them. If you can help the help, but otherwise don't make comment about it. Don't get to somebody's house and become burdensome. They have to do this. They gave you this food. You don't want this. They gave you that. You don't want it. Then buy your food before you get there. Eat before you get there. Do you understand? You want to go and sleep with your friend? Go with everything. Go with your slipper. Go with your towel. Go with your soap. Go with your toothpaste. Go with your toothbrush. Go with your bed, if need be. I'm exaggerating, but I'm telling you to the extent so that you don't cause offense. But you see, when somebody come and visit with you, do everything. Don't expect anything when you go, but what? Make them to have everything when they come to you. Do you understand? I'm teaching you Christianity, and I'm teaching you life. You see, let me say, if you live this way, you are going to have a lot of friends. And you're going to be a people person. And you're going to really win a lot of respect of people. Get your friends out. Help him in cleaning. I've been to people's houses and I saw their bathroom. I said, what? Before I could bath, I watched the old bathroom. I didn't say when I was in primary school. I said as a medical doctor. I've done it twice. I still remember, I won't mention name. I've done it twice. Take responsibility of being a good friend. Go extra mile. So let me share some personal thing. When I was young, I've seen a lot of young people here. You don't help people above you. Let me ask you young people. When last is one of you young, tell Pastor Brad Dre, Dr. Dre, I want to come to your house. And you get to his house, Dr. Dre, go to his kitchen, wash, and help him sweep his house. Has anybody done that to you? They should do it. That's how to win. He's a medical doctor. Because the mere fact he carry himself like a young guy like you doesn't mean you should not know. You should have understanding. The age gap, the educational gap, then the financial gap. Do it. I was telling one of you, I said, you don't know how to work with a king. I said, you don't know how to work with a king. I'm sure you remember now. You are laughing. You don't know how to deal with it. See, a king must not call you to send. Think for the king and do what the king wants without him asking you. Do it. I remember one of our fellowship presidents when I was a medical student. He was 3 years ahead of me. Was it 3 years or 2 years? I was a medical student. He started his house job. He was a former fellowship president, and he got a house in Lut at that time. I single-handedly went to the room he got. I cleaned everything, washed the window, everything. I was a medical student. All because of my former fellowship president. That's what you should do. Do it. Are you here with me? That's how to do it. Enter. You must learn how to be a friend. And friendship is responsibility. Do things for people expecting nothing. I want to say this well. This age, any little thing we do, we want something back. Please, I want to beg you, young people, don't do it. Do things without expecting anything. Particularly those who are above you. Can you get me this? Do it freely. They don't look for excuse. Any something they send you, don't look for excuse not to do it. Look for every reason to do it. If need be, cancel your own. I'm telling you how to be in relationship. You know why you don't take some of these things seriously? Because it's Pastor Laide. If I'm a big pastor and I'm telling you this, you will do it. It will become a carnal thing. If, in quote, Joshua Selman said you should do that, you'll be doing it. Because he's a big guy. You know that? It's carnality. I'm telling you wisdom from heaven. You should learn to do it. Amen. Help your friends. Help your friends. I heard a story of a girl in the school. The parents don't have money. And he has this friend. The parents are rich. And the girl got to her dad and was telling the dad, please, you're going to help my friend. That's a good friend. You're going to help my friend. What do you want? Please, sir, I want to pay the school fees. And the father opted out to pay. It was said that the lady he helped ended up growing to be richer. Richer by all standards. You know, sometimes life just play out that way. And he was the one that now dragged his friend up. This lady was there. And you know, those kind of stories are sweet. But you, the clothes you are going to buy next, your dad has paid your own school fees. They done everything. You see one chijinjin. You see one bling bling bling. You want gidinge. You shall want everything. You can't even see your friend that he has not paid school fees. They sent him out and you didn't see. Look, let me say this. If you have a class of 100 students and they sent out 2 students who could not pay school fees, let me say this. By God's design, they should pay it. Among those students, they should have people who pay for them. But all of us are close to it. There are students that should pay it. That should arrange. That's the way life is. The arrangement will be there, but we don't see it. We don't know how to make friends. Everybody wants what they can get. No. It's more blessed to give. It's more blessed to open your hand. To be generous. And let your friendship be characterized with sacrifice for one another. Be there for a friend. Pray for a friend. Remember your friend in prayers. Think about, you can really take your filial, your friendship to a higher level that even your children will become friends. I have somebody in my family. I've known these 2 men. I envy both of them. Their friendship is strong. I don't know how they have done it. For over the years, and the family have known them. That if you see this wedding, his friend will be around with his wife. In fact, their children have become friends. Are you here? You are learning? How many of us have been able to keep friends in the last 20 years? 10 years? You are always fighting. You don't have anybody. You need help. You are hearing. You don't even know how to call your friend. Give a call. Send a text message. Give an encouragement. A friend of mine showed me, he went for a meeting and he showed me the picture. Standing with one white guy. It's a business executive meeting. And then he showed me the picture. I sent a compliment. Powerful compliment to him. Send compliment to your friend. Encourage your friend. Lift up the hands of your friend. Are we getting something? Sometimes, by the time you start having children, you want to give, you might not be able to even afford give to the children. Do you know that it's powerful? You can't afford the pair of shoes you want. You can go and buy sweet. You can go and buy whatever, now goody. You understand? You buy yogurt. Buy things that children can use. You understand? Say, and use it and buy and present to them. They will like it. You must know how to enter into people's life in a good way. You agree with me? I said be sacrificially generous. Take the responsibility of being a good friend. Let the responsibility come from you. Proverbs 18 says, he that want to have friend must make himself what? Friendly. You want to have friend? Be friendly. If you don't have friends, you're unfriendly. That's it. If you don't have friends, you mean you have been attending this church now for how many years? You don't have any friend? Haba. Me, I don't like making friends. You are not a human. You are an abnormal person. It's not normal. It's abnormal. I don't like people. What are you saying now? It's not a compliment. It's a weakness. Work on yourself. Be intentional. Do you know what it means? David and Jonathan. Jonathan was the son of Saul, the king. David was just one. And Jonathan did not even hide it. And you know something? Jonathan was the one who also who did that. Saul could not kill David. Can you protect a friend? Protect your friend. You are now married. You are both friends. Protect your wife. She's your friend. Protect her from the assault of the in-laws. Don't just leave her alone to the gape of lions. Protect her. Are we together? Be sacrificial. You know, Jesus said there is no greater love than this, that a man what? Should lay down his life. For who? For his friend. So that means you are going to lay down your friend. There will be junction, you will lay down your life for your friend. And 1 John 3:16 says, how do we lay down our life? In what? In this world things. By using the things of this world God has given you to what? Deprive yourself and use it to help a friend. Amen. I said make friends with godly intention of being a blessing to unbelievers, sometimes to win them. I want to win you. Paul said, I became all things to all men that I might win some. I want to win the lost. You know, God came into friendship with us to win us. You know, when we were his enemy, Jesus sought us. He chased us. The Bible said they even call him friends of what? Publicans. Okay, have we learned anything? So let's round up with this. Seek the interest of others. Seek their interest. Seek their profit. Seek the interest of your... Do you know all these things we teach about customer friendliness or something? There's something like that now. Customer friendliness now. People friendliness and everything. Do you know something? If you actually seek the profit and good of others, you're already customer friendly. So all those things we teach ourselves is because we don't understand that these things are already in the scripture. They are part of our nature. So let's express it. Seek the interest of people. Seek their profits. Do it with knowledge. If there are knowledge, you might need to share with your friend. Opportunities, connections. It's not everything you have to collect money. I want to say this. We're in a world when everything is money, money, money. You must know junctions that this one I might not. And let me say this. You might not collect small money, but what that thing will do to you in future to come, it will amaze you. Or rather I will say, what that thing will do to that man, it will amaze you. Do you get that? Okay. Be a positive influence on people. Lecturer, be a positive on your student. Don't talk down on any student. Experience should have shown you that a lecturer. The young one you're handling today, you don't know what they will be tomorrow. But in any case, I'm not even doing because of that. It's because that is the wise way to live. Be sincere. Avoid hypocrisy in relationship. Be honest. Be open-hearted. Mean what you are saying and say what you mean in relationship. Learn how to use words on one another. Be courteous with words. Be winsome with your words. The Bible says, let your word be seasoned with grace. Let it be seasoned with salt, that it might minister grace. That minister grace means that it may minister help. You may be winsome. And lastly, be ready to sacrifice. I've said it before. Don't be burdensome, but absorb burden of other people's neck. Don't be burdensome, but absorb burden. And in this age we are, give a call to your friend. Chat with your friend if need be. Do it. Chat with your friend. Give a call. Pray for your friend. Let Phileo have his way in us. Only God knows when we truly walk with Phileo. Only God knows the extent we'll go in life. Paul would have killed himself in Acts 19. It was his certain friend that he had in Asia that told him, don't go into the midst of those crowds. They were the one. His fellow Christian told him, Paul was still Eddie. But the Bible said Paul had some friends among the Asians. Big guys. And they said, don't join that. Don't move into that mob. Don't. So Paul had friends. Have friends. Have medical, your profession, have friends. Sometimes your friend is not even a Christian like you. It's just that you might know the extent that one will go when it comes to some values. But who say a non-believer cannot be a friend? The Bible says then you have to get out of this world. If all your friends and all the people you know have to be Christian like you, then you have to get out of this world. Have you received anything? May the Lord give us understanding. May we make most of all these platforms that God has given to us to make most of our lives in what? In our personal allegiance to Christ and in advance of his cause on earth in Jesus' name. Thank you. God bless you.